What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and this week I've got something pretty damn special for you guys. As I did in the last video, I did say that there was going to be something special coming up in the following weeks, and obviously last week there was no video released, but obviously now this week we can now finally talk about it, and that is of course the highly anticipated SSP28 from Novritsch. Now, I know in the past I have said that I'm not exactly the biggest fan of Novritsch, and it still is kind of true to a degree. I am not the biggest fan of most Novritsch guns. I like his snipers. I'm not the biggest fan of his pistols, especially after the SSP18. I was not a fan of that. It had a nasty trigger, but otherwise, generally speaking, the gun was actually pretty good. But this one is his latest. Now, this was obviously only released a few days ago, so of course I couldn't do a video on it then. I had to wait for that. But now that it is now finally released, I can now talk about it. So, as you guys are seeing here, it is a Glock-styled pistol. So, of course, it does resemble something like a Glock, but it is vastly different. You do still have Glock triggers, Glock chassis, that kind of deal. So therefore, it will still fit into Glock holsters. And as you guys are seeing there, it is a semi and full auto. Not that you're going to be using the full auto, but it does have the option nevertheless. Now, where this thing comes in and makes it so substantially different is, of course, the split slide system, as you guys are seeing there. So of course, that means your follow-up shots are going to be a whole lot quicker. They do claim that this is one of the fastest pistols on the market now at 28 rounds a second. So yeah, strictly speaking, you'll empty the whole mag in about a second if you're on full auto. It is a whole lot more snappy than most pistols of this style because obviously it is designed to be fast. That was the whole point of this. It is also a step up from most of your Glock series because obviously you do have a locked-in barrel. So now, if you guys have used Glocks and like that kind of thing in the past, you would know the barrel is a floating device. So of course, your accuracy, while still decent, is not as precise as this one will be because obviously everything that is basically you hop up your barrel, everything is one piece. It is solely locked in place. It's not going to move. It's not going to float. It's not going to do anything like that. And of course, it does have the TDC hop up, which of course is always a winner for pretty much everything. Pistols, rifles, the whole deal. That is the way to go. And of course, in comparison to the SSP18, which is the one I wasn't the biggest fan of, the trigger is substantially better, which is obviously a big step up from that one. It is also slightly different in the sense you do have these little plugs on the side here, which are threaded. So I'm assuming that there is a specific Novritsch piece that's coming out, or you could basically use one of those universal, I forget what they're actually called, but the piece that fits on, bolts on, and you can round your red dots and that kind of thing onto this top of the slide. So of course, this does have the ability to do that. And of course, you are going to be getting one of these sort of extended mags, which of course always look good with these types of weapons. However, these are slightly different to what most of you guys are used to. If you are used to mags of this style, you will know that normally you have to remove the base plate in order to fill your gas. This is actually quite a nice little innovation from Novritsch. You don't have to do that. It is part of the base plate nevertheless. So this mag is slightly bigger. You will hold around about 28 rounds. And of course, internally speaking, with these, your hammock system, or your hammock group as it's called, is entirely steel. It is fitted with a 601 tight bore barrel. So of course, super accurate, nice and quiet, super responsive, and it does actually run pretty damn well. FPS wise, it is designed to run heavier BBs, so 0.32s and above. Well, it can run 0.32s and above. I wouldn't suggest it not for something on a pistol because obviously your pistol is designed to be close range, but obviously you can use it as a primary if the field allows you, depending on the rules that you have set up with, you know, etc., all that kind of thing. So generally speaking, I wouldn't run this on anything heavier than say 2.5s because obviously the closer you are, the more energy it's going to pack. And let's be honest, it's no slouch. It comes in at 286 feet per second on a 0.2. So really nice little weapon. So definitely something worth checking out. Like I said, we were waiting for this for a while, and of course it is now finally here. So do yourself a favor, get on the website, come see us in store, and come grab yourself one of these because these are not going to last. They are fantastic. I'm actually really impressed with it. It is probably the only, no, I wouldn't say the only one, but one of the only pistols from Novritsch that I actually really like. And it does feel super comfortable. It's not that heavy. I would say it's even lighter than most WeedTech models, but definitely go ahead and check it out. And yeah, as per usual, guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, keep us going, and stay tuned for your next videos, and we'll see you guys there.